Hi, Steve again from Backwoods Skills and Education. We're here again today with another product review. This time it's a Light My Fire Swedish Firesteel. It's the army version in orange rather than the Scout or the wooden ones. And we're going to go through the ins and outs of it, and also we're going to go a little look at how the steel is best used and applied in the correct way. Many of you will have obviously have a Firesteel in your arsenal. Some of you may not get into looking at which one to buy. I would heartily recommend this brand, Light My Fire. It's without doubt the best performing version. Many of that do have them, you may use them correctly, you may find you get them okay. I'm going to go through the two best ways of using a flint and steel, a ferro rod. Let's not confuse this with a flint and steel. We're going to go through that with it today. This is the Light My Fire Army Firesteel. A great bit of kit for your arsenal. Chances are you've already got a Firesteel with you. It could well be this brand. There are other brands available. You can get cheap ones off eBay. In my opinion, I've used these for many years. Many different brands. This is the brand to go to. It works every single time. The materials of the ferro rod are absolutely far and away better than most of the other hit and miss type things you can purchase. There are other brands available. I won't go through all the brands now, but suffice to say, I would recommend this over any of the others. It's so much easier to use. It's capable of about 12,000 different fire strikes. If we look at each strike being a successful fire, you've got 12,000 fires within this, which is probably a lifetime's worth of fires. If you are teaching or training or whatever you want to do, these are good to buy in bulk and keep them there. But generally, it's probably the best Firesteel you're going to find. There are smaller versions, the Scout versions. They don't have as many strikes in there. They don't feel as stout. Where this is slightly longer and slightly thicker rod, will give those extra few fires if you so wish. We're going to go through how to use it shortly, but first we'll just have a look how it feels in the hand. So we'll pop this bad boy open now. Just pop that in there. I'll split that. And retrieve the Firesteel out of there. So this is the Firesteel. We're looking at just under probably 10 mil diameter of the rod itself, and a good about 10 centimeters in length. Fits well in the hand, quite sturdy and stout, some weight to there, and there's a striker in the other hand with a lanyard between them so you don't lose these. You can take this off and have them separate, use the back of a knife, or you can just keep it on there. It depends on your outlook and things. I'm not going to teach you how to suck eggs. This isn't a video on how to carry a Firesteel. However, it's a video on the Firesteel, the use of it, and the performance of this particular brand. Now, all Firesteels, when they're purchased, come covered in this black coating. The Firesteel won't work until a section has been removed. If I were to strike this now, I'd need to remove a section of this black coating for it to actually generate a spark, so we can get a spark going and light something up. The coating is merely there to protect the metal, to stop it deteriorating and oxidizing and rusting. There are many different metals in here. It's a mish metal of type affair. There's iron in there, there's magnesium, other different types of metal that I don't exactly know what's in there, but is a very useful tool to use. I personally carry one of these everywhere I go. I have one in my car, keep one in the car. Each pack that I have a spare, and I also have one on a carabiner attached to my belt buckle, and that stays in my pocket. That's when I'm doing things, when I'm away doing something. Ordinarily walking through town, obviously I'm not going to have this attached to my belt, but if I am going away camping, on some expedition, on teaching, or anything like that, I'll keep this in my pocket with me. It's a very, very useful piece of equipment to have. In a moment we're going to go through how to use this correctly, the best ways of using it. There are a couple of good techniques, it's nice to know, and then once you've nailed those techniques, you'll be a wizard with these and there'll be no issues at all. So this is the Firesteel in question. What you'll see in front of you, I've got a tray just to keep the fire off the wooden desk. Some cotton balls straight off out of the cotton wool bag, and the rod. So the first thing we need to do is try and scrape off some of this this black material, this covering. Like I say, it doesn't work very well with the black covering on there. What I like to do, I take it right to the end. I'll show you why in a second. One of the ways I strike my Firesteel. You can use this with a knife as well. This isn't an instructional video on using it with a knife, that may come another day. It's simply to use the Firesteel as it is right now. So what you'll have seen before, I'll take these out to start with, and you just use the single one. You may have seen various people on TV in shows how to use these, and even on the instructions. So there's two thumb impressions, where apparently your thumb of your non-dominant hand will sit on the steel there, and your non-dominant hand thumb will sit in the depression of there. You will find a bit of a ridge underneath the striker. That's the part that strikes on the rod. So you hold it with your thumb in the impression, not the other way around, otherwise it won't work. It's got to be this way so you can get sparks, and that's how we generate a spark. Now, when we're holding it like this, we're holding it in our fingertip like that, and our fingertip there. We run a spark along and we get some little sparks. Now these sparks can be up to 2000 degrees in temperature, so try not to get these on your skin or anything delicate. So don't be trying this in a bedroom on a feather bed, because the next thing you know, you're going to have a fire around you. So the way I'm showing you out now, that's where you've seen before. You scrape along there and you get some sparks, and hey presto, eventually you'll get a spark from a cotton wool. That isn't the most efficient way to use it. You'll see why in a minute, because we'll scrape that and we'll find our cotton wool is moving around. We're knocking that, and before we know it, if we've got a windy day and we've created a little fire out of sticks, we've got our kindling and our tinder bundle in there, and we've got a fire and we want to drop a spark into the centre of that, we've knocked all of our fire to bits. That's not the best way of doing it. The best way of doing it in a situation like that is to use your dominant hand and have that firm on the ground at the same angle you would using a striking it, but this time instead of striking forward with your striker, you're going to pull back with your rod, so you get a more contained section of sparks there. So if I bring my cotton wool back in there now, put my hand down, the rod there, the right position, and pull back, you get the fire first time. So if we had a situation where we had a little surround there, that's probably the best way of starting a fire with a flint and steel. So again, ferro rod, beg your pardon, not flint and steel. Your hands, your knuckles on the ground, the ferro rod pulls away from you, so you're pulling back. Rather than going forward, you don't generate enough sparks. Backward you generate, and it's more contained in the area you want it to be. So this next method I'm going to show you is another way of using a ferro rod. Rather than scraping it the way I've just shown you, it's a way of scraping a shower of sparks into an area you want to strike it onto, so we can drop some sparks on the cotton ball from there. So rather than grasping the ferro rod using your thumb in the depression and thus, we're going to sort of grab it further down, halfway down the rod itself, and bring our hands round there, so we're sort of strangling the rod itself, and we'll just use the end sort of 10 mil of this. You'll see why in a second. But I still use the striker in the same hand, bring it round, but this time I use the thumb of a non-dominant hand on top of my other thumb, so I'm keeping the angle, so I'm supporting this scraper, but I'm using both thumbs to scrape along there and get a shower of sparks. So you'll see straight away the shower of sparks we've got there is greater than if we scrape like this. You get a small shower of sparks, whereas this way you get a much larger shower of sparks. Not only that, we can increase that and improve it slightly, but instead of scraping forward we can twist at the same time, and you can also the twist improves it even still, so we can actually aim with that, so we can drop a shower of sparks onto a cotton ball over there, and that's by aiming using that. And this, the way of doing it like that, instead of, as I was scraping there, scraping all the way down, after a few goes with this, you'll notice your Firesteel is flattened off all the way along there. Now the way we're doing it this way, if we strangle it there, the Firesteel will only wear at the very end. So when that's worn down, you can keep moving this around, scrape some more black material off. Then you've got the next section to work with. When this has had your 12,000 sparks from this section here, we strangled the hand a little bit further down. So we've now got another clean section to work from here to straight up sparks. So we've got another 12,000 sparks, and we can come down. So this prolongs the life of this Firesteel by many thousand fires. And it's just a more efficient way of using a Firesteel rather than scraping the traditional way and moving things along. So the two ways we're going to use in future are to knuckles on the ground, scrape backwards. The other method of doing it is to strangle the Firesteel using a finger and thumb and scraping that way. We can use a knife on there, like we say, at the very back of the knife, as long as it's a carbon steel blade with a definite sort of sharp edge. Don't be using anything soft on there or anything with a rounded edge. The main thing is got to have that sharp edge. A piece of flint will work, a piece of glass. Anything that's got a very sharp edge will generate those sparks. Glass is superb for creating sparks, so is flint. But it's nice to keep your handy striker with there in one, and you've got a fire every time you want one. Just bearing in mind these are generate sparks of about 2,000 degrees, so they're very hot. But if you do this right and you prepare properly with your tinder and kindling, this will give you many fires. Even dropped in submerged in water, take this out, rinse it off, give it a dry, work straight away the next time. There's no issues with this not working once it's wet. Just look after it. When you've got this, don't drop it in seawater. Keep it dry. Once they do get wet, they do corrode very quickly. So if it has been raining, give it a good dry in your pocket before you put it away. And just if you're using it in the wet, just give it a quick dry with a hand towel or some tissue paper, and you'll be good to go for many years. Awesome piece of kit. Now this is the Light My Fire Army Firesteel. There is a link to this in the description below, so you can order one of these yourself from Amazon. I strongly recommend you add one of these to your arsenal, perhaps even two, rather than any other brands. These do work far better than the other brands. Very useful tool. Thanks very much for watching.